Hey, today it's a great day in New Orleans. It is 75 degrees. It is January 21st. Yeah, and just a few days ago, it was, I believe, 20 degrees. Yeah, it was 20 degrees for a long period of time. I believe the last time that it was 20 degrees like that on that day, I think it was Wednesday, was 1972. And everything in my neighborhood froze. My yard froze, my neighbor Angie's yard froze, and it's amazing the damage that was caused by all of the cold weather. I mean, it was like ice skates out on our front street. Even though my irrigation system would run, it turned the sidewalk into a little ice rink, as well as we had ice and snow. Yeah, in New Orleans, and again, it's Sunday, January 21st, and it's 75 degrees. Kind of how it's supposed to be. If I'm not mistaken, in New Orleans, in New Orleans, what is it? I think the average daytime temperature going into February is like 64 degrees, and the average nighttime is 48. So when it's 20, we're not accustomed to that. See the snapdragons here? All the tops did burn into the crisp, but those will quickly come back. What you need to do here is cut those back, and that'll take care of that problem. But you also might see, you might see boxwoods with some serious browning. That all is going to come back as soon as you have some warm weather. You'll be able to take care of those. They'll start growing back in. You can trim them out. So don't get paranoid about that, because you can even see all these are wintergreen boxwoods, and they all have browning from the cold weather, as well as all of my alyssum has had it, and all of my cyclamen, obviously, that couldn't handle it. But what I did find, scratch test, you can see this is still green underneath. It's still real moist green, so I have a feeling this is going to come back just fine. These palms, I don't know, they had them covered multiple times. I mean, they're in bad shape. If I had a plant like this, what would I do? What would I recommend? I would actually tell you to remove something like this. It really doesn't belong in this space. You know, if you have ginger and it looks like this, I mean, 9 out of 10 this is coming back. But it's gonna take months and months, and the cleanup for something like this is gonna be pretty intense. It's like agapanthus, you're gonna see, they're gonna look rough. I mean, you'll see some of them. This plant, this group here, I should say, this group is probably gonna be just fine. It's gonna be severely cleaned up. But then again, I saw some out in the Elmwood Business Park area that looked like mush, and I would say that those might have a little tougher time surviving. Like the bicolor iris, this just needs to be severely cut back. It's gonna come right back, but some of the things that you're gonna find in the iris is that these cold weather conditions are gonna get rid of the scale that's pretty unique to this plant. The yellow iris always gets it, but definitely the bicolor iris, this definitely gets it as well. So you're gonna take this and you're gonna cut it all the way back in about 3.5 months. So giant elephant ear, spritly philodendron, all those type of plants, you're gonna see that they pretty much look like this. This is something that you're gonna want to cut all the way back down to the ground, and hopefully this should come back, along with your banana trees and other things that are similar to it. It's pretty historical that this plant takes a beating, and you can just hack it to the ground because it's pretty tough, and it'll come right back. Firecracker plant, this 100% cut it all the way to the ground, and this will come back. It's a good late spring to summer blooming plant. Flowers red. It's a great plant for a spot like this. People don't know what this is. This is actually what they call an orchid tree. This tree here actually is an offspring of that one right over there. The son that lived in that house made a cutting and planted this here years ago. I did a scratch test on it, and it looks like, let's see, I mean, it's real brittle. Yeah, I mean, it's got a little bit of green there. It's not really wet, so I'll be concerned. So if you have an orchid tree, it might have seen better days. matter what condition the plants are in right this moment. You're going to find a lot of them will come back, some of them won't, but this is a great opportunity for you to take a little inventory and decide what kind of plants you want to have in your garden in the future. So is it time to redesign your yard? Is it time to plant more durable plants? You know, the ground covers, the boxwoods, the camellias, things like that? I don't know, but this could be the year for you to do it. Thanks again.